Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not
You're a grand jury.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy, do I have a case
Remember
for
in
you
the
today.
beginning,
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy
They
there.
got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case. Dati mihi Anglican boys, verbus latium.
That's literally not true.
I didn't ask you to interrupt me.
Is that correct?
Oh, for Trump's sake.
Just grab the camera to try to pull it down and talk into it. That would have been bad. Welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Wonderful to have you all here this afternoon. It's a beautiful one at that. I tell you, I'm not one to take meds very often, and now I know why. I can't close my eyes, or else everything goes weird. So I can't sleep. If I close my eyes, everything's going weird. All right, welcome, especially welcome to Irish Leone. Irish, welcome. You're first in chat. We're going to punish you for it. Everything IP-related worldwide is your responsibility. It's your fault. If it's the internet connected, it's your fault. So, yeah. I feel great. That's the point. The drugs are working. Got the movement. I can turn my neck farther than I've ever been able to turn. I can look behind me if I needed to. I'm like part owl now. It's great. So I've got great range of motion, no pain. It's all good. And no pinching and no tingling down the arm. It's just the thumb that's left. So we're going to try to fix that tomorrow. We'll fix the thumb. Maybe some acupuncture will do that. All right. Prednisone really is messing me up a little bit. I haven't had any problems driving, and it doesn't warn me about driving. So it's not like I can't drive without it. I think you're supposed to take them at night. I've got twice a day and 3 times a day. And I read all the instructions and talked to the pharmacist and everything. And the dosage I'm on is actually fairly low. It's much lower than lots of people get. So, prednisone, I think I'm only on it for 5 days. But all right. That being said, we're ready to go back to court. We have a short. Don't pull a Tiger Woods. Thank you, late but present. I will attempt to not park my Escalade on its hood. I will achieve this, and I know I can achieve this, by not having an Escalade. That's my number one way to not replicate. Hard to sleep. I found it hard to sleep yesterday. Yeah. One to worry is a muscle relaxer. I tell you, thanks for all the medical advice, guys. First time I'm going to the doctor in 7 years under this wonderful medical plan that we have here in the world of YouTube, which is pay your own way. His car was a Land Rover. Okay, I will also not have a Land Rover. 7 years, I'm healthy. Healthy as a cat. Very fat cat.
Remember in the beginning when we
All right.
started 110 years ago?
No, this is my year. I'm getting healthy. All right. It is time to jump back to court. Tiger was in a Land Rover. Last time it was an Escalade, right? The golf club incident was an Escalade. I thought it was an Escalade. Let's see. Let's see. What do I have to get that 110 out of my system before we start a card? Thank you, Laura. Let's just start court. Let's not delay this any longer. It's a short day. We only have about 1.25 speed. 2 hours.
Don't put a diplomatic plate on a hoopty.
So we've got about an hour and a half.
I'm
left.
not going to argue about semantics here.
So let's go ahead and run down to Hawaii really quickly and catch up on day 2 as it's beginning right now. Why is this not working? What am I doing wrong? Oh, it's working. I just need to wait for it. Camera 6. Here we go. Boom. Our counter is at 15. We have 15 objections so far in this trial. They come fast, especially on speed trial. Prednisone makes me cry. I keep trying to say prednisone like I'm pregnant, which I'm not. I'm not trying to make any sort of announcement. No. Prednisone. Drugs in their names. Take it during the day. I have to just take it morning and night, twice a day. Could watch the moon launch, prepping now. Had some bad luck with moon launches and YouTube. On another channel, I got hit with a copyright strike on my family channel, showing my kids, doing a stream with my kids reacting and sharing their response to the live launch. This was years ago, before I started doing this. And NASA hit me with a copyright strike. I didn't think they could. I thought that's taxpayer dollars. I own that. I own that stream. I paid for that with my taxes. Anyway, here we go. We're back at court. So good luck to all the astronauts and all the teams of people who made this possible, going back generations, literally. They're building these rockets and flying off, modern versions of math that was done on paper and pencil in rooms trying to get astronauts home from Apollo. They're just amazing science at work here. So props to all the astronauts and the best of luck in everything they're doing. Be watching it live, yeah. Why is that short court days? Hawaii. Need we say more, Northwest? Because apparently they have beaches. And when you have a beach, you don't work much. That's all I don't know. I've never been to Hawaii. I'm just guessing here. I'm sort of spitballing just a little bit. Prednisone that makes me eat. I could blame it on that. It's probably the 5th time I've been on prednisone in my life. Normally, I get prescribed this for extreme, and by extreme, we're talking like Willy Wonka style reactions to poison ivy. Like if I come near poison ivy, I swell up like a balloon, like all of me. It's terrible. All right, part 2. Here we go. Thank you, Josh, for the pins today. Appreciate that. Glad you're taking a break from the fishing just to get this one put together for us. First witness is going to be Veronica DeMello, Honolulu Police Department evidence collection. So we're probably going to talk about collecting the rock and maybe some blood samples and some swabs. Just guessing where we're going. I don't know. I haven't heard it yet, but in just a moment we'll be there. There's some movement in court, so can't hear anything either. They haven't turned on the feed from court yet. We're just holding tight while they do that. I've never been to Hawaii. Right, that's because you have to fly there. It's expensive. Have you tried the Vlasic dill pickle corn puffs? I have. I was surprised at how good they were. Like, I expected them not to be good.
Case number 9, State of Hawaii versus Gerhard Kone, 1 CPC-25-373 for further jury trial. Appearances, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Joel Garner for the state. Also present is Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Franklin Don Picaro Jr.
Good morning, Mr. Garner. Good morning, Mr. Picaro.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thomas Otake and Matt Dirks on behalf of Dr. Gerhard Kone.
Good morning, Mr. Otake. Good morning, Mr. Dirks. Good morning, Dr. Kone. Gentlemen, all you can be seated.
Is that still Thiac?
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, good morning to all of you. Welcome back to courtroom 15.
He's pretty proud of that courtroom number.
Reading the weather, yet again. I seem to be saying that a lot lately to this jury. If you haven't already earned your gold star for making it through the first storm, definitely for sure now making it through the second storm. So thank you very much.
Gold Star Juror Award.
Wow. We will continue on with the presentation of evidence in this case. I asked the attorneys as we go through today to see where we might be. I did talk with them and they agreed to recheck where we are in terms of the presentation, early afternoon versus what kind of weather we're looking at for the commute home. So you already know what I have in mind. So I'll be working with the attorneys during the day to see if we might
short day because of the weather.
Our schedule a little bit shorter today. But for now, we will continue on with the presentation of evidence. Mr. Garner, state's next witness.
Yes, the state calls Veronica DeMello.
As Veronica comes up to the stand, we'll explain the little clock that's flashing there. The reason it's flashing is because of something called a pulse width modulator.
For the trial, Ms. Dr. Fisher is at the bailiff's desk taking the place of Ms. McCallum. She's being assisted by Mr. Justice Castroverdi Moniz.
Judge introduces the staff for us.
Courtroom. He is a third-year student at the Will and S. Richardson School of Law. We're happy to have him. And third court reporter in our rotation is Ms. Melanie Ballesteros.
Nice. Good to have you all here at Court Reporters. The pulse width modulator turns on and off the LED lights. It's what makes LEDs quite energy efficient because they're actually off for more time than they're on. Our eyes get tricked by the flashing light to think it's always on, but the camera catches frames when it's turned off. That's why it looks to flicker like that.
Please have a seat.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Before we begin any further, can you pull the microphone as close to your mouth as possible and speak directly into the microphone as much as possible today?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you please state your name?
Veronica DiMello.
Mr. Mello, what's your occupation?
I'm a police evidence specialist for the Honolulu Police Department Crime Scene Unit.
How long have you been employed by HPD?
21 years.
What was your assignment on March 25th, 2005 around 12:30 a.m.?
My assignment was to recover evidence at the central receiving desk at the main station.
I'm going to take a step back. What are the general duties of an evidence specialist?
Our general duties include crime scene documentation and evidence collection.
And on that date, March 25th, just after midnight, what type of evidence were you assigned to collect under HPD Report 25-110958?
Clothing.
Who did you collect the clothing from?
I collected the clothing from a Mr. Koenig.
What was his full name?
Jared Koenig, I believe.
Gerhard?
Yes, I'm sorry. Butchered that name.
Okay. If you were to see that person again, would you be able to recognize them?
Yes.
If that person is in the courtroom, can you point them out and let us know an article of clothing that they're wearing?
Yes. As I'm facing the court, he's on my right, wearing a blue-collared shirt.
Your Honor, may the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant.
Record will reflect identification was made.
Specifically, what clothing items did you collect from the defendant?
I collected a T-shirt and a pair of shorts.
Right. Now I'm going to approach with what's been marked as States Exhibit 29 and States Exhibit 30, which have previously been shown to defense counsel.
If these are covered in blood, defense has a serious problem on their hands, which I think they already do, but...
Okay, Mr. Mello, I've handed you States Exhibit 29 and States Exhibit 30. Could you take a look in that package without taking anything out?
Yes.
Okay. For Exhibit 29, do you recognize what that is?
Yes.
Okay, what is Exhibit 29?
Exhibit 29 is a T-shirt.
Is that the same T-shirt you recovered from the defendant on March 25th, 2025?
It is.
Is that T-shirt in the same or substantially the same condition as when you recovered it from the defendant?
Yes.
At this point, the state will move States Exhibit 29 into evidence.
Mr. Otake. No objection. What is the mark for identification as States Exhibit 29 is received into evidence?
Tammy Jess,
Mr. Mello, without
back.
removing anything else from that large package, could you remove States Exhibit 29?
We just want the T-shirt, man.
Okay. And if it's okay with you, could I have you stand up and display States Exhibit 29 for the court?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of blood yet. I see some dirt.
And first, can I ask you to display outside of you the front of the T-shirt?
In front of the T-shirt. Okay, different part of the T-shirt.
All right, and now can you display, please, the rear part of the T-shirt?
Oh.
Okay, thank you. And... Okay.
Why is there a big thing of blood
Mr.
on the
Mello,
back?
can you now open up that package and take a look to see States Exhibit 30?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, did you get a chance to see it?
Yes.
Okay, what is States Exhibit 30?
It's the shorts that was recovered at Central Receiving Desk.
This is the same pair of shorts you recovered from the defendant on March 25th, 2025?
Yes.
Are these shorts in the same or substantially the same condition as when you recovered them from the defendant?
Yes.
At this point, the state will move Exhibit 30 into evidence.
So copy. No objection. What is the mark for identification as States Exhibit 30 is received into evidence?
Okay, and could you now take States Exhibit 30 out and display it to the jury as well? And could you start with displaying the front?
Okay. Pair of
And now
gym
could you display the rear,
shorts.
please?
The rear is dirty.
Thank you.
Either he soiled himself or he did a lot of butt sliding. Like down the mountain or something. 'Cause he's, I'm not sure which happened. Glad they're sealed.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. Mr. Mello, what were these items assigned evidence numbers under the HPD report system?
They were.
Okay, and what were the numbers?
Items number 13 and 14.
Okay, and which item was number 13?
Item 13 was the T-shirt,
Okay,
and item 14 was the shorts.
What type of packaging, after you recovered it, did you place item 13, the T-shirt, into?
The T-shirt was placed in an evidence envelope, a breathable evidence envelope.
What type of packaging did you place item number 14, the shorts, into?
The same type of packaging.
Okay, and after you put them in these envelopes, what did you do with the envelopes?
They were sealed and submitted into our evidence vault at main station.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a couple follow-up questions. What does sealed mean?
Sealed means it's a tamper-proof tape. If I could show these. We have an assigned tape. It's a blue tape with a HPD crime scene on it. That's our tamper resistant or proof tape. It's sealed with that, signed by whoever sealed it, which would be me. It has my ID number on there and also the date that it was sealed.
Okay. And could you hold up State's Exhibit, either one, just let us know which one you're doing, and point us out to the tape?
Sure. So I'm holding up State's Exhibit number 29, which is the shirt. Again, white tape on the very top of the shirt. It has a HPD crime scene unit. It's a white tape with blue writing on it. The black marker here is my signature, along with the date of this seal for this particular item, and then also my ID number.
And is this the original packaging today?
No, this is not.
Okay. Can you explain the packaging today a little bit?
Okay. So for court purposes, a request was put in for presentation. So this normally wouldn't be flat for court presentation purposes. It would be in a sealed packaging instead, that we mentioned before. So this seal is for just court presentation.
And you mentioned that you put items 13 and 14, which are now State's Exhibit 29 and 30, into the HPD evidence vault.
Yes.
Can you explain that?
HPD evidence vault, our evidence room, which normally takes in evidence, is not a 24/7 evidence dispository. They have a vault outside of work hours for them, and then it's a sealed, locked in the basement of the HPD main
It's just
station.
a cellar. Okay. Cellar you keep stuff
And
in.
then how do you transfer a piece of evidence, or how do you transfer the two pieces of evidence in this case into that vault?
Okay, we also have a case report system within the police department, and there is a electronic transfer. So from me, it would go to whatever locker it was assigned to. It was transferred, and then it was locked and then sealed within that. And the only other person that can open that lock after me would be somebody that is employed with the evidence room.
And which locker did you place the items in this case?
Main station evidence locker 121.
Now, from the time that you collected the T-shirt and the shorts to the time you put them in the evidence room locker 121, did you have sole custody and control of the items?
I did.
During that time, did you tamper with, alter, substitute, or destroy the contents of those packages or those items in any way?
I did not.
During that time, after you sealed the packages, did anybody open the packages at all between the time you sealed them and the time you placed them in the locker?
No.
Okay. Did everything you testified to occur in the city and county of Honolulu, State of Hawaii?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. No further questions at this time.
Your Honor, can we approach briefly with the on? Okay.
We're going to count these approaches as an objection. Sorry, I'm watching this video. IT, the judge guy in the other video. I've got like 6 things going on at once because, why not? The judge ripping out apart the IT guy is just like so wrong. So wrong. Okay, we're back. Just waiting for some sound here. We are counting objections, Dina. Objections, and we have 16 now. The IT guy. There's a clip going around on TikTok of a judge who was berating an IT guy who came in to like work on his computer. The IT guy's like, "Hey, false alarm." The judge's like, "No, it wasn't. It was happening." He's like, "Yeah, but it's not there now." He's like, "So?" And he's like, "No, don't joke about this. It's serious." And the guy leaves, and the judge is like, "Find his supervisor. I'm sick of this BS." Yeah, and there's more, I guess. There's an attorney who then followed up and wrote him a letter saying, "Hey, you should apologize to that guy." And he's like, "Get in my courtroom. I want to talk to you." That's not a legal summons. Missed the cough counter from the other trial, but I don't miss the coughs, Cats. Cats Gallery, the coughs are not. We can't fully see the counter. You can't see 16? I see it all on my screen. I can't put a name on it. That's the only thing right now. Possibly tomorrow after my new hardware arrives, I can do it. But I'm just...
Thank you, Your Honor.
I have to get rid of the blue bars, which I love the blue bars. I can't do that.
Good morning, Ms. DeMello.
Good morning.
There's no heading.
You indicated that you have been with the Honolulu Police Department for 21 years, is that right?
That is correct.
And was that entire time as evidence specialist?
It was.
And throughout that time then, you were asked about what you do there. Did you receive training on how to go about your job as an evidence specialist?
I do.
Part of the job of evidence specialist, in your experience, is to take photographs of evidence, correct?
That is correct.
And it's also to collect physical evidence, like you did in this case, the shirt and the shorts that you just showed the jury, yes?
Yes.
When it comes to, do evidence specialists from HPD sometimes actually go to alleged crime scenes and photograph evidence at the crime scene?
Yes, they do.
And that's something that evidence specialists, I mean, they're called specialists because that's what they specialize in, correct?
That is correct.
And as part of that, evidence specialists have tools like, certain types or cameras, right?
Yes.
Versus a patrol officer, he might just have his cell phone, but evidence specialists have actual cameras to do their work, yes?
That is correct.
And sometimes you guys have like tape measures and rulers and things like that you can utilize at a alleged crime scene when you're photographing where evidence is located, correct?
That is correct.
And generally speaking, it is good practice at a crime scene, if there's an important piece of evidence, that an evidence specialist can come out, photograph it in the trained way that you are before the evidence is moved, correct?
Yes.
You want to document it well where it is, because oftentimes exactly where a piece of evidence found is important, correct?
That is correct.
And so you're trained that as much as possible, evidence specialists come out, try to maybe use your rulers or whatever to help, show where a piece of evidence exactly was, and photograph it and use your training to document where exactly that important piece of evidence was at the crime scene. That's good practice, yes?
That is good practice.
Okay. And then that way, like a year later, we're not guessing where exactly something was and wasn't, correct?
Correct.
All right, thank you. Now, Ms. DeMello, do you know somebody by the name of, and I'm going to try to pronounce it right, Miss Niu Zhang?
That would be Zinwei.
Completely wrong.
Zhang, yes. Yes.
I'm sorry, what was it? Is this
Zinwei.
Okay, sorry, the last name is
Zhang.
Okay.
Yes.
Last name is?
Zhang.
Okay, Zhang.
Yes,
Miss
Zinwei,
Zhang.
yes, Miss Zhang.
Okay, I'll refer to her as Miss Zhang.
That'll work.
Do you know who that is?
Yes.
And she was an evidence specialist at the Honolulu Police Department, correct?
Yes.
And she worked on this case, yes?
Yes, she did.
But then she has since left HPD and I think maybe resides in China or something now.
She is no longer with the department, that is correct.
And were you her supervisor?
I was not her direct supervisor, no.
Okay, I noticed on some of the photographs that Miss Zhang took that it indicates that it was approved by Veronica DeMello. What does that mean if she took a photograph and then you approved it?
So with our workflow, a supervisor, not necessarily her direct supervisor, a supervisor will review the images that are put into that central report system within HPD to account for the amount of images that were taken.
Okay. So you were a supervisor, just not her direct supervisor?
Correct.
But on this occasion, you did approve the photos she took, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And she likewise was an evidence specialist who received training on how to properly take photos of relevant things, correct?
Take photos, yes.
Yeah, she received training on that, right?
Yes, she did.
Your Honor, Exhibit D30 has been admitted into evidence, and can I read the stipulation to the jury?
Yes, but before you do, Mr. Otake, so ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Mr. Otake is going to read what's called a stipulation of facts to you. These facts have been agreed by the parties to be conclusively proved. You will treat these facts as conclusively proved. They're not in dispute. Whenever you're ready, Mr. Otake, you may proceed.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the parties stipulate that Exhibit D30 contains photographs taken by HPD evidence specialist Niu Zhang on March 24th, 2025. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's
all right.
pretty straightforward.
May I publish?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. DeMello, I'm going to publish this exhibit and ask you a few questions about it, okay? To help the jury understand what certain things on this means, okay? So, first thing I'm going to show you here, if I can get this to work well, is at the bottom of D30, let's let it focus, it indicates here, it has Ms. Zhang's name here, right?
Yes.
And then it says rank POL-EVSP3. In your experience, what does that mean?
Police Evidence Specialist 3.
Okay. And so there's different levels?
Yes.
How many levels are there?
4.
Okay, and so she was a 3.
Correct.
Okay. And then it has a date and time, March 24, 2025, 1946, which would be 7:46 p.m., yes?
Yes.
And in your experience, that's typically around the time that the photos are taken and submitted?
No, that is the time that it's entered into the central receiving system.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's
report system.
That's when it's entered into the system, right?
That is correct.
So that would mean that the photographs being entered were taken before 7:46 p.m. on March 24th, correct?
That would be correct.
At some point.
At
right?
some point.
Okay. Then this is the side I was asking about, approved by Veronica DiMello. That's you, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So now I'm going to zoom out. Is this a? It says at the top here, Honolulu Police Department photographic report. You see that?
Yes.
So part of what evidence specialists do is they photograph things and then they put it into a kind of a report form. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And this looks to be well, you approved this, and this is a photographic report that Miss Zhang created. Correct?
That is correct.
Correct. Okay. And she is now lives in China, to your knowledge.
To my knowledge.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So on this front page here, we have two photographs. We have one on the bottom there is a full-length photograph of Gerhard Koenig. You see that?
It is a left profile.
Left profile.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's what you guys call it, right?
Yes, a left profile full length, which means full body on the left side.
Got it. And that's normal in as you go about photographing somebody who's been arrested, and if you asked to do it, you take profiles from the left, the right, and the front. Correct?
Front and back.
And the back.
Yes.
Okay. And then the top one, and that's photograph 8. Top one, photograph 7. That's a I guess closer up of the left profile. Yes.
That is correct. The left profile.
Okay. And then you guys also keep the actual photographs from the camera itself. That's not. You have the photograph that's taken, and you put it in a report. But then you guys also have the actual photograph from the camera too, right?
I'm not.
I'll show you the next page. Okay. So this was turned over.
Okay.
And it's not in a report form, but it's a photograph that was turned over. So you guys have the photographs, and then it's included in the report after. Yes.
Yeah. So if you're talking about keeping the digital file image, yes.
That's what I meant. Sorry,
yes.
I don't know the right terms,
yes.
but yes.
The digital file image is
kept.
Is kept.
Okay. So, and this is again, digital file image of the left profile of Gerhard's face, yes?
That is correct.
Okay. And sometimes you guys are trained to, well, not sometimes, but are you guys trained to take photos of apparent injuries on a suspect's body?
We are trained to do that, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And in this case, there was a photograph taken of the left side of Dr. Koenig's face on March 24th, 2025, correct?
I don't know when she took these images.
But it was before, I'm sorry, it was before 7:46 on March 24th.
Correct.
Looks like he was bent on his ear.
And we just read the stipulation where the parties are agreeing that it was taken by her on March 21st, 2025. Right? Yes. But you weren't there when it was taken.
Correct.
Okay.
I wasn't there when it was
taken. All right. Okay, that's all the questions I have. Thank you, Mrs. DiMello.
Thank you.
We're still catching up here. This is day 2.
Thank you. Mr. Mello, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
No redirect. Defendant was a little worse for wear, but he had been out in the forest.
Garrett Balagad, but as we're calling Mr. Balagad, I'm going to retrieve the exhibits and the packaging from the stand. Please.
Off trail as well, which is really rugged. The police went up there searching for him for 5 hours.
I'm going to hand States Exhibit 29 and 30 to the clerk, and I will.
Weren't able to find him until he came out of the trees. I don't know, maybe half a mile away. Next witness.
Do you solemnly swear affirm that the testimony about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Good morning. I'm sorry. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, before we get any further, can you pull the microphone as close to your face as possible and keep your voice into the microphone as much as possible?
Okay, is this better?
Yes. Can you please state your name?
My name is Garrick Balagad.
Mr. Balagad, what's your occupation?
I'm an evidence specialist with the Honolulu Police Department.
How long have you been employed by HPD?
For 19 years.
And what was your assignment on March 24, 2025?
My assignment was to report to the Queens Medical Center ER to take photographs of a person.
Okay. I'm going to take a step back. In general, what are your duties as an evidence specialist?
Okay. My duties as an evidence specialist are to recover evidence, to take photographs, and to pencil and sketch diagrams.
Okay, and you mentioned that you were assigned to respond to Queens Medical Center?
Yes.
Is the Queens Medical Center in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii?
Yes, it is.
And what specific location of the Queens Medical Center did you respond to?
The punch bowl location, the emergency room.
What time did you arrive to the Queens Medical Center punch bowl emergency room?
Approximately 11:50 in the morning.
And you mentioned earlier you were assigned to take photographs. Who were you assigned to take photographs of?
I was assigned to take photographs of Ms. Ariel Koenig.
What time did you start taking the photographs at the ER?
At approximately 1:40, 1:50 p.m.
And how long did you have to wait before taking the photographs?
We had to wait about 2 hours.
Why did you have to wait about 2 hours to start photographing?
Objection. Calls for hearsay, Vax Foundation.
If you know why did you have to wait 2 hours?
We had to wait because there was no room available for her.
All right. Mr. Balaga, I'm going to approach with Exhibits State 22 through State 28. I'm going to show them to defense counsel as well. May I approach the witness? You may. Mr. Balagat, I've just handed you what's been marked as States Exhibit 22 through 28 inclusive. Could you take a look through those exhibits, and when you're done looking through them, can you look up? Okay, are you finished?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recognize what these exhibits are that I've just handed you?
Yes, I do.
What are these?
These are photographs taken of Ms. Ariel Koenig.
Okay. In the time that you saw Ms. Koenig on March 24th, 2025, were you able to familiarize yourself with the condition she was in?
Yes.
Were you able to familiarize yourself with any injuries that you could see?
Yes.
These exhibits, State 22 through State 28, did you take all of these photographs yourself directly?
No.
Okay. Despite that, do these photographs fairly and accurately depict Ariel and her injuries as you observed them on March 24th, 2025?
Yes.
The state now moves exhibits.
Can I approach?
Got another sidebar here. We're going to see if we can skip through this one. Don't know how long this one's going to last. Pause that. Let's see. Okay. Done.
The bar sucks anyways.
I like that soundbite.
And your permission to publish. Right. Mr. Balaga, I'm going to put the photos up on the screen next to you in order, 22 through 28. As I put them up, can you describe what each photo depicts?
Yes.
All right, now publishing States Exhibit 22. Could you describe for us what this photo is depicting?
States Exhibit 22 is an image of the face of Ms. Ariel Koenig.
And I'm going to zoom in on the top right of this. What does the top right of Ariel's head depict?
On the top right of the image, which is on the top left of her head, is an injury to the head and scalp area.
And I'm going to now zoom in on...
Your Honor, I apologize. Can we approach again? Sure.
Wow. That's quite the injury. I get the counter going here. Struggling to get both. Defendant watches on as defense is trying to shape this evidence into what they need it to be. The testimony is, at least from their point, from their side, they say their client is going to testify that he hit her once with the rock as a reaction to him being beaten with a rock, where he stopped and grabbed it and hit back. Yeah, you just rubbed your eyes with rubber gloves. Now you have to change your gloves, sir. If that was the rock that was used, it's not big enough to reach all the places where she was injured. That's got to be multiple strikes. And I'm sorry, most people can't do that to themselves. Most people can't. Can't believe he didn't try to get a plea deal. Man. Let's see. This is Hyperdeck 26. Let's go to 27. Gonna fast forward again. They're taking forever. We're on Zoom. We can do it. All right. Give them 10 seconds. We should be done. There we go.
Zoom in on an area on the left-hand side of the State's Exhibit 22 right now. Can you describe what we're seeing in this portion of State's Exhibit 22?
On the left side of the image, which is on the right side of her face, there is reddish brown blood-like stains near her eye and above her eyebrow.
The photo speaks for itself. I object. He can describe that he took it. Other than that, it speaks for itself in terms of his. I object. He's not an expert in injuries.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the full-size photo. Okay, and we're going to move on now, Mr. Baligad, to State's Exhibit 23.
Sorry, what number?
23.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Baligad, what does State's Exhibit 23 show?
State's Exhibit 23 shows the upper left portion of Ms. Koenig's head with a wound on that upper left part of her scalp.
I'm going to open an area in the middle of the photo right now. What does this portion from the middle of the photo show?
That portion from the middle of the photo shows the injury to her scalp.
This one is...
Okay, I'm going to go back to the full photo.
I'm going to object. Can we approach? Sure.
Come on, defense. I'm going to object. So we're up to 21. Let me, as tastefully as I can, the images that are being shown right now are quite graphic. There's a lot of blood on the top of the scalp, and it's big. So I it's just probably can't show these because YouTube's gonna be like, it's not under seal. No, it's been blurred out. I've got them, but it's blurred out. Okay. Defense objection he's making right now to the judge over and over is that the photos speak for themselves. He doesn't want the doctor to describe the photo to the jury when the jury says, and he's saying best evidence is the picture, right? They have the photo. They can look at it. We don't want you telling us what's in the photo because that's like double dipping on the impact.
Okay, Mr. Baligad, we're going to move on now to State's Exhibit 24. What does State's Exhibit 24 show?
State's Exhibit 24 shows a out-of-focus view of the top of Ms. Koenig's head.
I'm going to move on now to State's Exhibit 25. Now, what does State's Exhibit 25 show?
State's Exhibit 25 shows another view of Ms. Koenig and the top of her head.
Okay. What happened to the hair in this, if you know?
Objection. Lax foundation calls for speculation. And
if you know.
Excuse me? Oh, sorry.
Do you know what's different about this photo?
Yes, I do.
What's different?
The medical professionals...
Your Honor, this, again, the same objection. Hearsay.
Well, this one, he's CPA foundation. Go ahead. So it's the same for now. No lack of foundation.
Okay, Mr. Baligad, you said you know what's different about this photo. Is that from your direct observations or from what somebody told you?
Not what from somebody told me, from what I observed.
Okay, so from what you observed, what is different about this photo?
Medical professionals removed her hair so that we could see the injury better.
Now publishing State's Exhibit 26.
I can show you these if you want, but...
Mr. Baligad, what does this exhibit show?
State's Exhibit 26 shows again Ms. Koenig with the injury to her top of the head with hair removed,
it's really
and
graphic.
A scale is placed to show the size of the injury.
Okay. Can you...
I might put them up on...
you say there's a scale placed
Facebook
to show the size of the injury. Who placed the scale there?
I did. That is my hand.
Okay. I'm going to zoom in on the scale in your hand in at least the top portion of the injury. Okay. What does the marks on the scale represent?
The marks are in millimeters.
Thank you. I'm going to move on now to State's Exhibit 27. What does State's Exhibit 27 show?
State's Exhibit 27 is the back of her left hand.
The back of whose left hand?
Excuse me, Ms. Koenig's left hand.
And State's Exhibit 28. What does State's Exhibit 28 show?
State's Exhibit 28 shows the back of Ms. Koenig's left hand with a scale placed to show size of injuries.
I'm going to zoom in, get a closer look at the top middle of this photo. What is depicted in this portion of the photo?
Injuries on the tip of the fingers.
Injuries that are on the back of the index, the finger, the back of the thumb, the back of the middle finger with the scale showing in millimeters the injury of Ms. Koenig.
All right. We're going to move on a little bit in time, Mr. Balagab. In addition to taking photographs and observing Ariel Koenig on March 24, 2025, did you collect any other evidence in this case?
On March 24th?
In general?
Yes, I did.
Okay. What evidence did you collect?
I recovered Ms. Koenig's clothing.
Later on in the case, did you collect any other evidence?
Yes, I did.
So what did you collect later on?
On March 25th, we reported back to the Queen's Hospital, and I got a DNA reference sample, or what is called a buccal swab, from Ms. Koenig.
I want to ask about the buccal swab from Ms. Koenig. And you also referenced it as a DNA reference sample. Can you just explain what that is for us?
Okay. A DNA reference sample is a known sample of a person, and that known sample can either be blood or a sample from the person's inner mouth called the buccal area. And that buccal area is the known sample of a person that is used to reference against or tested against unknown samples.
Can you describe for us how you're trained to collect a buccal swab sample?
Training is done at the office when we first start. That's one of our first tasks we learn to do. So a buccal swab or swabbing is using a sterile swab to swab the inner cheeks of a person, and then that swab is placed in a sealed envelope, and then it's sealed with tamper-proof tape and submitted to the HPD evidence room.
Before you take the swab, is there any procedure you follow?
We take an identification photo of the person that we are doing the reference sample on.
I'm now going to approach with State's Exhibit 128 for the defense.
Tish fish, I can't wait. Good luck.
Okay, I'm going to approach now with what's been marked as State's Exhibit 128. Do you recognize what I've just handed you?
Yes, I do.
What is this?
This is an identification photo of Ms. Koenig that I took on March 25th prior to taking the DNA reference sample.
Okay. And does this photo fairly and accurately depict Ms. Koenig as you observed her before taking the reference sample on March 25th, 2025?
Yes.
At this point, the State moves Exhibit 128 into evidence.
Mr. Otake? No objection. It would have been marked for identification as State's Exhibit 128 is received into evidence.
I'm going to publish State's 128.
Did a little research on the rocks from Hawaii, and it's mostly basalt,
right, I'm going to take
which
now
is actually fairly heavy.
It's
not the lightweight volcanic stuff that we're
right,
familiar with. It's still
Mr.
jagged,
Balagad, what was the or was the buccal swab that you recovered from Ms. Koenig given an evidence item number?
Yes, it was.
What evidence item number was it given?
Item number 24.
Okay, and was that under HPD report 25-110958?
Yes.
And can you walk us through exactly how you took the buccal swab from Ariel?
Okay. So, again, sterile swabs are used. They're taken out of the package. We swab the inner cheeks, both the left and right side, to obtain the sample. It's sealed in a self-sealing envelope. Then we seal it with evidence tape. We write up an evidence sheet, and then we submit it to the evidence room.
Okay. A couple follow-up questions. You said the packaging is self-sealing. What does that mean?
The envelope comes with self-sealing so that when we put the swab sample into the package, it has a removable tape that we seal over, and then it's considered closed and sealed. It's to keep it sterile or from being contaminated by anything else.
And then you mentioned evidence tape as well. Can you describe that?
Yeah. Evidence tape is tamper-proof tape that we use to make sure that envelope cannot be opened again without breaking the seal.
Okay. And what kind of evidence tamper-proof tape do you use?
We use the Honolulu Police Department evidence tape.
And for you yourself, do you have any specific color of tape you use?
We use the color of white and blue.
Okay. Is that for everybody at HPD or any specific section?
No, the different sections have their own colors of tape to show which section used or submitted evidence.
So which section has the white and blue tape?
The crime scene unit has white and blue.
And after you said you sealed the package with the evidence tape, in this case, what did you do with the tape?
So after the packaging is sealed, we sign and date it, and then we submit it to the evidence room.
Okay. How do you submit, or keep it specific to this one, how do you submit the packaging item number 24 in this case?
In this case, the evidence sheet is created with the sealed evidence, goes to the evidence room, and then an evidence custodian receives it.
Okay. And who did you give, which evidence custodian at the HPD evidence room did you give this item number 24 to?
To evidence custodian Lou Gonzalez.
What is Lou Gonzalez's full first name?
Lucia.
Okay. From the time that you collected the buccal swab from Ariel to the time you gave it to Lucia Gonzalez at the HPD evidence room, was the swab in your sole custody and control?
Yes.
During that time, did you tamper with, alter, substitute, or destroy the contents of the package, item number 24, in any way?
No.
During that time that you were in that full custody and control, did you or anybody else open the self-sealing package at all?
No.
Did everything you testified to happen in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii?
Yes.
Thank you. I have no further questions at this time. I'm going to retrieve the exhibits from the witness before. Please. And I'll hand them to the court clerk.
Good morning, Mr. Baligad.
Good morning.
Just a few questions for you. You indicated that on March 24th, you went to the Queen's emergency room to attempt to obtain photographs of the complainant in this case, correct?
Correct.
And throughout your career, how long have you been an evidence specialist with
Coming
HPD?
up to 19 years.
19 years, okay. And from time to time in your 19 years as an evidence specialist with HPD, you've had to respond to the Queen's emergency room to take photographs of complainants, yes?
Yes.
And suspects as well, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So you've been there often to do that through the 19 years, I'd imagine, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So you indicated when you got to the Queen's emergency room, you had to wait for about 2 hours because there was no room available for her, correct?
Correct.
Meaning Miss Koenig was actually out in the hallway, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So at the Queen's emergency room, following this incident, to your knowledge, the Queen's emergency department had her wait in a hallway for 2 hours before moving her to her room, correct?
She was in the hallway on a gurney.
Yeah. For 2 hours, right?
Yes.
In your experience, going to the emergency rooms to the 19 years, have you heard of triage where they give rooms to the more critical patients first?
Yes.
Now, sir, the prosecutor went over some of the photos with you that you took that day, and you gave some commentary about injuries on the thumb and scalp and things like that. You're not a medical professional, are you?
No.
Okay. And you take the photos, and the photos look a certain way, and photos look bad, obviously, but medically speaking, you don't have qualifications to say how medically serious her injuries were or were not, correct?
Correct.
Okay, that's better left to the Queen's doctors to talk about those things, yes?
Yes.
And as far as, the manner or means of the injury, how many strikes or whatever, you would agree that a medical, a forensic pathologist, medical doctor who specializes in examining injuries and coming up with opinions about means and manner, they would have more qualifications than you to do that, yes?
Objection, argumentative, and vague.
Overruled.
You agree with that, right?
I agree.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. No further questions.
No, thank you.
Mr. Baligad, thank you. What's your first step? Great. Mr. Baligad, state's next witness.
State's next witness will be Vance Lyon.
All right, ready for our next witness. We're flying through these, and I love it. This next witness, when he gets up, you'll get a good view of the patch on his shoulder, like the police patch. It's not the most colorful, but I want one. How do you get? I think some police agencies have like an exchange where you can. I think if you make a donation to the police somehow, the Order of the Police, whatever, FOP, you can get police patches. But I have to do that.
Do you solemnly swear affirm that the testimony about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please have a seat.
Good morning.
Morning.
First thing first, could you please sit close to the microphone and maybe pull the microphone close to your mouth and just try and speak into it for the rest of the morning?
Yes.
First of all, can you please state your name?
My name is Vance Lime.
Mr. Lime, I'm
Yes.
sorry, I've been calling you Lime.
Okay.
What is your occupation?
Mr. Lime.
I'm employed for the state of Hawaii
You put the
Department of
lime
Land
in
and
the
Natural
coconut.
Resources, Conservation and Resources Enforcement Division.
What is, it's a long name, is there an acronym they use for your agency?
There is normally referred to as DLNR or DOCARE.
Is it okay if I use the word DOCARE?
Yes.
What's your rank at DOCARE?
I'm a lieutenant for the District 1 area of Oahu.
And then can you describe a little bit about what DOCARE is as an agency?
We are a full law enforcement agency that enforces the rules under the Department of Land and Natural Resources, and our jurisdiction is from basically the top of the mountain to 3 miles out.
You say 3 miles out.
Into the ocean.
We enforce the rules in the ocean as well.
How long have you been employed by DOCARE?
We're a law enforcement agency that
approximately 20
enforces
years.
the laws.
Were you so employed and on duty on March 24th, 2025 at around 10:34 a.m.?
Yes.
On that date and time, where were you dispatched to?
I was dispatched to the Poly Lookout.
Okay. What's the official name that DOCARE uses for the Poly Lookout?
Nu'uanu Wayside.
Also the Nu'uanu Poly Wayside?
Yes, Nu'uanu Poly Wayside.
Is that in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii?
Yes.
Which law enforcement agency or state agency normally has jurisdiction over the Nu'uanu Poly Wayside, if you know?
What was the question?
Sorry. Do you know who normally has jurisdiction over the Nu'uanu Poly Wayside area?
It's usually DOCARE.
And you said you actually went to the Poly Lookout. What did you do when you arrived at the Poly Lookout on March 24th, 2025?
Upon arrival, I met with the HPD sergeant who briefed us on the situation that was happening.
When you arrived, were any other DOCARE officers present with you?
There was 2 other officers,
And who was that?
Officer Dombrowski and Officer Pham.
And after being briefed by Sergeant Malloy, what did you and as well as Officers Dombrowski and Pham do?
After the briefing, we kind of made a plan to go up to the Pali Puka hiking trail and to assist HPD in the search of a male, a Caucasian male that was supposedly up there.
Lieutenant Lime, did you write a report for this incident?
Yes.
Okay. And what did you refer to the area as in your report?
In my report, I put the Pali notches.
Okay. Can you explain the difference to us?
Yes. If you're at the Pali Lookout looking towards the windward area of Kaneohe, the Pali notches are to your right if you're looking towards Kaneohe, and the Pali Puka is on your left as you're looking out towards Kaneohe.
Got it. So which area did you actually search or actually go to on March 24, 2025?
We searched the Pali Puka trail.
All right. I'm going to now publish what's been admitted into evidence as State's Exhibit 19. Lieutenant Lime, is the area that you searched contained on this diagram?
Yes.
It's like craning his neck to see.
What were you searching the area for?
For a suspect.
Audrey Horak, welcome.
So a person.
A person, correct.
Mr. Lime, I'm going to, or Lieutenant Lime, I'm going to approach you, and I'm going to ask you if you could use this iPad to use this pen and draw your search pattern on this diagram. Could you do that for me?
Yes.
Okay, and as you do it, could you narrate the way you searched?
Okay.
And then if you could narrate into the microphone as you do that.
Our search started in the parking lot, down below.
Down below.
Went up the Palipuca Trail, up towards, I'm assuming the X is the...
Don't assume,
Okay.
just you went
All right. They're up to the trail, about 5 minutes up the trail.
I'm sorry, is he drawing on it now? It's not showing up, or?
It's the red line.
The red lines.
Oh, got it. Sorry, I didn't see that. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay.
It's the big
Can you continue?
red things.
As we got to the location, we came in contact with one HPD officer who was holding security around the location of the scene of the incident. From there, we went past that officer in the scene. There was another HPD officer above that scene. So we went past them, and we continued up the trail looking for any disturbances along the trail or going off of the trail where a possible person might be running and hiding. Went all the way up to the puka, which is, again, I can't really tell where the puka is on the trail, but went to the puka. There was nobody located on top of the trail. Went past the puka and then came back or doubled back down. We doubled back down to 2 different areas. One area is just above the scene or the location, an approximate area, and then there's another one just above that. Officer Dombrowski was by himself. He walked into this area. Officer Pham and myself walked into this brush or forested area to search for, again, another possible suspect and any other persons that we could locate in that area.
When was the next time or the next place you saw Officer Dombrowski?
As we went in, we kind of met up with each other in the area, and then we doubled down back and forth in this kind of a pattern all the way to the roadside.
In the area that you've now drawn on this iPad in the exhibit, what was the terrain like?
The terrain was thick brush, a lot of trees, canopy, a lot of bushes, a lot of nooks and crannies, a lot of small crevices and spaces.
You say nooks and crannies and crevices and spaces. What does that mean? Can you describe that a little bit for us?
There's little overhangs with brushes and dark spaces that we're kind of looking for and making sure that nobody's hiding in those areas.
As you were going through this area of the Nu'uanupali Wayside, did you have any concerns?
The concern was as far as safety because it was a steep hillside, and we just had to traverse that as slow as possible.
Okay. I'm going to take a backtrack just a moment, Lieutenant Lime. Lime, I'm so sorry. Lieutenant Lime, when you walked up, or have you ever walked up the Palipuca Trail before?
Yes.
How many times have you been up that way?
Maybe 3 times, 4 times.
What's on the windward side of the trail?
Windward side of the trail is steep cliffs.
From the area that you hiked, could you estimate the height of the cliff?
Objection, Your Honor. Most for speculation. And it's also vague. I mean,
he loves speculation, vague.
Could you estimate if you know the general height of the cliff?
No.
Is it more than...
You can't.
Can you estimate, is it more than 10
no.
feet?
Definitely.
Okay. Could you give us a general ballpark?
A few hundred feet.
That's big.
All right. And then you described a concern on the area you searched with the red lines on this diagram. How steep was that area of the mountain?
And again, Your Honor, it's vague. There's red lines all over the map.
You can answer if you understand.
It was steep, but there are some areas where you would really have to take your time and go slow and hold on to the bush or tree to get down.
Okay. Moving forward in time a little bit, Lieutenant Lime, once you and Officers Dombrowski and Pham reached the bottom of the area you searched, what did you do next?
While we were in that area searching, there's about 4 other officers, so DoCare officers, that assisted in a search.
Okay.
And want me to draw in that area?
Could you, if you know?
Yeah. So those 4 officers entered around this area and went this way, and then you searched towards our location.
Do you know who those officers are?
Maybe 2 of them.
Could you tell us their names?
Officer Maui Lee, Officer Ibarra, Officer Kanakaole.
Kanakaole? That's a cool name.
Not sure who was the 4th one.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to come and retrieve the iPad from you and take the exhibit down, and then we'll move on in time a little bit further. And
Edgewood Hill,
we've
we're on
taken
day
down
2 trying to catch up right now.
down
That's why they're
from
talking
that.
so
From that view.
fast.
Okay. How long were you up at the Poly Lookout and the Nuuanu Poly Wayside area on March 24th, 2025?
The total time we were there?
Yes.
Approximately 9 hours.
During that time, did any other officers or doe care personnel respond that you're aware of?
Yes.
Okay. Who else arrived at that area?
It was our chief. The name's still? Oh,
Please.
Chief Redula, Lieutenant Henry Heine, Officer or temporary assigned Kai Kamau.
And after these people or these doe care personnel arrived, what steps, if any, did they do?
Officer Kamau was given approval by our chief, Redula, to fly his drone or his unmanned aerial vessel or vehicle.
What time did Officer Kamau start using his drone?
About 13:30, 1:30, around that time frame.
Can we see the
And
drone?
what area did he use his drone in?
He flew his drone over the area. We did a search from the parking lot, and I believe he went up the Palipuka Trail and then kind of doubled around what the area we were searching.
Do you know what time Officer Kamau finished using his drone?
He had to ground his drone maybe like 10 minutes after flight because of the HFD helicopter coming in.
Right. Did you see any other agencies or government organizations respond or participate in the search other than doe care?
Yes.
Who else?
More HPD officers arrived. Some were from the
Allie, good night.
Specialized Services
Thank
Division,
you.
K-9 unit, and the major events.
What did you see? What the K9 unit did?
It's 1.25, sorry, not 1.5.
They mustered up, had a plan, and then
They must have objection.
So did you see where they
Speculation.
went? I guess.
Oh.
Good objection.
yeah, they themselves performed the search up the trail, the Palipuka Trail.
Did you see what the Specialized Services Division did?
They're all together. Yeah.
Sorry, I understand. All right, Lieutenant Lima, how long did the search continue for on March 24th, 2025?
I believe around 16:30 or 16:45 or something like that. Commander in charge during that time kind of told everybody that we're gonna cease searching in the area, leave the area, hold the gates to make sure that no one enters the park, and then come back at a later time.
What later time was it planned to come back?
I believe around 2000 hours, or 8 o'clock p.m.
Do you know why the search was suspended until 8 o'clock p.m.?
They wanted to come in dim light and use infrared or heat or something like that.
Thermal. I've got plans for that as well.
Overall, what was the forest cover like in the area that you searched?
The forest cover is thick. The canopy that the trees make is super thick. The trees are maybe 50, 75 feet tall, and it throws a pretty good canopy.
What was the ground cover like underneath those trees?
Muddy, wet, slippery.
And what was the brush cover like?
Some areas are super thick, where you really had to push through, and some areas it'll open up some space and you could walk freely, but most of all it was just thick with a lot of trees.
And what was the slope like again?
It was a good gradient. I couldn't tell you, but it was just pretty steep in some areas.
Did everything you testified to occur in the city and county of Honolulu, State of Hawaii?
Yes, sir.
I like that.
Thank
Finish
you.
the
I have no
question.
further questions at this time.
Mr. Taki, can we take a cross after the recess? I'm going to be like 3 minutes. Please. Maybe 4.
4.5 tops, maybe 5.
Good morning, Lieutenant Lime. Thank you for being here. When you were just describing the thick canopy and the thick brush and the steep terrain and the muddy, that's when you were off the trail looking, right?
Correct.
Okay. Because the Palipuka Trail is, you access it from the same parking lot area as the Pali Lookout, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Is Pali Lookout under DoCare's general? Is that a park you guys kind of take care of or manage, I guess?
Yes, it's under the Division of State Parks.
Okay. So it's actually a state park, this parking lot, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And the Palipuka Trail itself, I know you're talking about veering up and down. the Pali Puka Trail itself, it's a known hiking trail, open to the public, that hikers in the public use regularly, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. No further questions.
He was really quick. That wasn't even 3 minutes.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, let's take our morning recess. Our 15-minute recess. Ms. Alpha Fisher will collect you at 11:20, where the carpet is on the fourth floor. You're going to hook on the chair.
No breaks for you. No breaks for you all. So we're going to skip ahead, skip the break. It's only 15 minutes. We were almost actually done with the day because weather turns bad in Hawaii, I believe. So let's give them just a minute to get caught up here. Breaks over right here. Okay. Give them just a minute. We're zooming through this. Tomorrow, I anticipate being able to cover 2 days at least. That's going to be Thursday. I've got to be done by 5 o'clock to get to my doctor's appointment so I can get back in time for the podcast because it's Thursday, Podcast Thursday. It's also the first podcast in April, so we're going to be gifting memberships on that one. Yeah, I had a hard time staying awake in court as is. These meds are not helping. The weird thing is when I close my eyes, like the thing that like makes me open them up again is all my balance is gone. It's weird. Weird thing. Pulling all-nighter, clever name. That would be probably not when I'm on meds.
Number 9, State Hawaii versus Gerhard Koenig. 1 CPC.
Remember in the beginning when we started 110 years ago?
Full counsel of record are present. All jurors are back in the courtroom. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your patience. During the recess, we were monitoring not just the weather conditions, but the current news situation as well. We've been informed that Governor Green is closing state offices. And while the Chief Justice hasn't made an official decision yet with respect to courts, we're talking with the attorneys for the parties. We're all in agreement that we're going to let you go for the day. There's no sense keeping you here only to fight bad weather later on in the afternoon. So out of safety and out of caution and out of care for all of you, I'm going to recess the trial for today. Have you come back next week on Tuesday to resume. Yes, we'll be a little bit behind schedule, but I will tell you the attorneys have been working very diligently and efficiently so that even though we might be a little behind schedule, I think we're still going at a very good pace. So no anxiety there.
No anxiety.
Now, when you come back on Tuesday at 9 o'clock, same rules. Don't talk to anybody about this case. Keep an open mind. Do not try to learn about this case outside of the courtroom. Again, I appreciate your flexibility, your dedication. Thanks for coming in through the weather. I'm going to send you back home through the weather before it gets any worse. So all of you, have a safe drive home. Have a good, safe, dry weekend. Take care of yourselves as well as your families. We'll see all of you next week, Tuesday.
I love his outro. His outro message is quite nice. Are we all retired and have no idea what day it is? It's Wednesday right now, so we're a week behind. It's tomorrow at 10 a.m. We're gonna be starting probably. I think I'd like to do 8:30 tomorrow, if that's all right. Is 8:30 too early of a start for you all? Katrina, buddy, it's a really small prescription. It's tiny. I mean, I'll be done with prednisone within a week, and just.
Anything you wish to take up? Well, we have the time, and we're still on record.
And Mr. Taki, I have a couple things as well.
Go ahead.
Okay, 2 things. Mr. Taki asked if there will be a report coming from investigator to the prosecutor's office. There should be one coming, so I can confirm that's incoming. The second is with regards to State's Exhibit 4. That was by agreement of the parties withdrawn so that the audio on the disc could be redacted per the court's order. I did take the disc back to my office. They informed me of something I should have seen the first time. It was put on a CER, which is not rewritable. So what I'm proposing is that I have it burned to a new disc, which then the officer will sign and date, and then that will be Exhibit 4. Is that acceptable?
That's fine.
Okay. I just want to put on record what the plan is.
That's fine.
I appreciate you working it out.
Okay, that's it for me.
Thank you.
One quick second.
Yep.
What does defense have?
Okay. And I'm sorry. One second here.
Of course, take your time.
On record. So, Your Honor, in the defense, this is going to be pertinent to Miss Koning's examination next week, so I thought I'd raise it now and give prosecutors the weekend. Exhibit 120 of ours is the AT&T records of hers that we subpoenaed and the court released. Under the rules, we made a summary chart of, particularly her interactions with Mr. Miller. And so we wanted to turn the chart over to the state today so they can do their due diligence and verify that the chart is accurate under the rules.
Okay.
And so we also, to make it easier, did highlight in the record itself the corresponding places in the chart. So I'm just turning that over.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then after, once that happens, well, we're going to add the chart as an exhibit and we'll get you guys a amended exhibit list that adds that chart.
Okay. Can you email the chart electronically when you have the chart?
Yes, I think actually, is this?
Yeah.
I think we have it.
You better.
When I say we, I mean Ms. McCauley.
Is that the course copy? Can the court keep that?
I believe that is.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. And that's just going to be.
And this is the copy of the.
Way to take credit from the team.
Okay, so Taki, that's going to be next in order. Defendants 184.
Correct.
Thank you.
That was all I had to bring up on the record.
All right.
I want to follow up on that because I have one more thing. We discussed this earlier, counsel, but I never closed the loop on it. With respect to the AT&T records, the court is still in possession of the affidavit or the declaration for compliance with Rule 902. I still have it in case it becomes an issue.
Okay.
I was supposed to turn it over to you. I haven't, but the court is still in possession of it. It came with the original. I think it was a thumb drive that the court reviewed and turned over after in-camera review.
Okay.
So let me know if you actually want the declaration.
Okay, I'll let you know. I'm going to see. I got to think through how we're going to go about this. Okay. Thank you for that.
So if there's nothing else on record, we will adjourn for the day.
9 o'clock Tuesday.
Yes, you got anything else on record, Mr. Otake?
Just let me think real quick.
Take your time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we just need to get that back for you.
Okay, so I'm going to give this back. I haven't reviewed it yet.
Oh,
but did you want me to review it?
I mean, it's up to you, but
I would like.
It might make sense if you review it now and then you can. I think you'll understand what I'm going to be arguing from that it's non-hearsay. It's not being offered for the truth.
I'll take a look at
the
it.
Audio.
Did you want the thumb drive back today?
I don't think we need it today.
Okay, no, I'll return it on Tuesday then.
Yeah.
I'll take a look at it.
Okay.
Now that we have additional.
Yeah, and like I said, our arguments are going to be non-hearsay, not offered for the truth of the audio.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else we should think of on record?
I will review all of it that the state has from the defense with regards to Officer Chun to prepare for whatever I would do. Nothing
All
else.
right.
We can go off record. Counsel, anything we should discuss off record in terms of scheduling?
I guess, is the plan on Tuesday the same with these officers now, or? You can let me know tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah, I'll think about it. I'll let you know.
Probably not, right?
Yeah.
I don't call them out of order because of my previous regarding the complaint.
Yeah, just let me know. If you can let me know tomorrow,
I
what you're planning to do Monday or Tuesday.
So, Tuesday afternoon, I'm planning to have the doctors testify.
Doctors, Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, and
Okay.
they're the most,
Right, they're a little more restricted in timing, right?
Sure. They have some flexibility, but not a ton.
Well, we kind of start early in the morning then if you're going to do if you got to do them in the
You think they're going to take?
Well, I don't
I'm
know.
estimating about an hour to hour and a half under estimating.
Oh, if that's the case, maybe we could finish her in the morning.
If she starts, what if the rec's going to be done, cross is going to start. Even if you don't finish cross, can we put on the doctors? And then finish up the cross?
No, I wouldn't agree to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. I can.
But
I have some flexibility with the doctors. I can probably move them back a little bit in the afternoon as well.
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, if the directive for her is truly going to be like an hour and a half, I think we'll finish her that morning. I'm not going to cross it for more than 2 hours.
Okay.
I don't think.
Okay, that helps with scheduling.
Okay. Okay. So
I think
but the doctors
that's
aren't
more than
afternoon.
planned.
Okay. And by doctors you mean the two?
Yeah. Grosjean and
Whitney.
Carlton.
Carlton. Yeah. Okay.
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 That's good for schedule. So Tuesday's going to be full day.
Yeah.
Definitely a full day. Yeah. And we'll plan on Wednesday being full day as well.
Right. And then we're off
Thursday. We're off Thursday.
back Friday.
Back on Friday.
Okay.
And I'll probably ask Officer Chun to be.
They have the
ready
weirdest schedule. Off Monday,
Tuesday afternoon as
off
well.
Thursday.
We can move fast with the doctors.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think
And
that's
just come
We're gonna
Friday,
catch up
next
quickly.
week, I'll ask you, Joel, where we really are, whether or not you really think you're going to finish on the following Tuesday. Because that impacts presentation of the
Yeah.
case, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other thing I wanted to bring up is we've never really discussed this, but if you guys want to propose something, on some of the chain of custody issues for the DNA or whatever.
Who was the victim in that one, Lindsay?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Okay. Just on some of the, chain witnesses,
Yeah, I can type something up and send it to you over the weekend.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's-
yeah.
That cuts out, not a huge time, but it cuts out 7 or 8 witnesses.
No promises, but I'll look at it.
No, 7 or 8 witnesses. That's a lot still. Okay. Gentlemen, anything else?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thanks for your flexibility. All of you guys be safe.
Yeah, you too. Thank
See
you.
you guys on Tuesday.
Yeah, thank you. Is it okay if we leave the binders?
Yes. Same disclosure. If anything
Yeah,
is
right,
broken,
right.
it's not my fault.
Yes, you can leave it, but if anything's missing or broken, not on us. All right. All right, that concludes their day 2. We're going to wrap it up for today. I just love the vibe you get. You feel like you're in Hawaii, and it's not just the accents. Hawaii's got to be a happy place. I don't know. I've never been. Am I reading this wrong? It just feels like a happy place. It's just fun to be in court, even though we've got some pretty heavy evidence and some pretty traumatic, pictures and stuff being shown. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Good lawyering so far. They haven't frustrated me. I'm not irritated with them at all. I like a good, strong defense. I like people that object constantly. Like a judge that lets you take it to sidebar and talk about it, even though I wish we could hear all the sidebars. It's very relaxed there. Very happy and relaxing place. Maybe for business purposes, we might have to go to Hawaii just to analyze the legal system in that environment and compare it to say how the environment is on the beach for a week at a time, things like that. I'm sure I could probably get that as a Laura, Annie, Amy. Recovery Addict. Laura, Ann, Amy. Oh, okay. 17-year-old Laura, Ann, Amy. Okay. I'm not familiar with the name. I just did a little studying about Ted Bundy back in the day and actually have a tie to... He tried to kidnap somebody. I believe it was... I'm not sure if it was a teacher or one of the students at the high school I went to. And there was a tie in there and ended up, I believe, not getting her. She's like one of the only ones that got away. But, he never actually got her in his clutches. But so Ted Bundy was at my high school, which was just weird. Didn't go to school there, obviously. He was just coming through doing crimes. She disappeared from Lehigh after leaving a party. He had confessed to her murder before his death, but they just linked it via DNA. Yeah, crazy. There's a love on the island, the aloha spirit. It's like the Southern hospitality. Hawaii has the aloha spirit. It's weird. I was watching Dr. G video of Ted Bundy this morning. Really? He's done a Ted Bundy one? That's cool. Mary says, now I have to do housework. I'm sorry, Mary. Had I known that you were doing housework, we would have slowed down the tape player. We would have, watched very slowly and dragged this out to make sure housework did not have to happen. I'm sorry. All right. With that, you guys, I feel weird. I'm probably going to have Mrs. R.A. drive me to my doctor's appointment tomorrow. But Red Pen, you've got stuff to do. Thanks for being here, Red. I know you are super, super busy. Appreciate all our mods. Okay, just full disclosure. All of our mods have busy lives. Like before this channel came about, they had things to do. Things people depend on them. Things that they have to accomplish, completely separate from YouTube and watching court. And this for them was much like it is for you, a little side interest, a hobby, a little downtime relaxation. The mods step in here and go to work helping me and helping all of you on the channel and just do an amazing job. For that, I am extremely grateful, extremely grateful. I could not do this without them. At the same time, your family comes first. That applies to all the mods. We don't require them to, I don't take attendance and say, well, why weren't you here on time? That's not me. Really, just for every moment that we have a mod with us helping us out, all I can say is thank you. That is awesome. I love it. I'm so appreciative of that. So thank you very much. Thanks for not giving them any grief, and I will be fiercely defensive of all of them for this reason. The mods are incredible, so enjoy getting a little bit of time off to our wonderful mods. And then we're going to start again tomorrow, bright and early. I think I'm going to go between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. We're going to try to start. We've got to get 2 days done on the speed trial watching to really get caught up and have a chance of getting. We want to get all the way caught up before there's any chance of this going to a jury. I do not want to be. I don't not want to be watching testimony and fighting comments about verdicts at the same time. So that's what we're going for. I apologize for the speed. It's a little bit fast, But between the Hawaii laid-back spirit and the slow speaking, I think it'll work out. So 1.25 speed might be perfect. Might get here just to be here in a bit in the morning. Thanks, Red, but do enjoy the trip. Josh says you're stuck with me off tomorrow. Yes, but in between you modding, you get to catch fish. So there's that. Are you streaming the church sentencing tomorrow? We're going to keep an eye on that. Laura, I'm not going to interrupt. I've become a big fan of being better about how I group my videos together. Because I've taken a lot of flack from people who would love to be here live, right? But whether they work during the day or sleep during the day, they're only available to watch on replay. And when we hop around too much with some of our court streaming, it makes it very difficult for them to find the next section. So I will try to possibly cover it on Top Mark Media. That's a possibility. I'm not a big fan of that. I probably won't do that. If it fits during the break, we'll look at the schedule when it's going to happen. If it fits during the break, we'll watch it. Otherwise, we'll watch a little bit of replay. I think there's only one possible outcome, I believe. I don't think this is a big what's going to happen situation. Could possibly pause for sentencing, but then I can't group this with all the rest of the Judy Church trials. That's the only problem. So, all right. I'm a little loopy, so I need to stop talking because I never know what's going to come out of my mouth. I have no filter, and then these meds are not helping. So the pin messages are all we can do for timestamping stuff. Yeah. That's good. All right. Thank you, Red. Thank you, all of you. Amazing. Looking forward to the podcast tomorrow. It could be quite interesting. So could go lay in the grass. That would be good. Only we have fire ants here. So laying in the grass is basically like offering up yourself to a sacrifice to the Mother Nature. The ants will just eat you, carry you away one bit at a time. I don't mind fire ants, really. So I'll walk barefoot in the grass. People think I'm weird over here, but it's good. Happy Easter, Passover, relaxed time this weekend for sure. If you're celebrating, 'tis the season to celebrate great stuff. Even if you're just a big fan of spring, take a walk outside. Oh my goodness, the flowers are amazing. Hold your breath, wear a mask, whatever you have to do. The pollen is incredible here. It's laying thick on our cars. All our cars turn yellow this time of year from the pine trees, but do have an absolutely wonderful weekend. You guys, sorry, it's not weekend. It's it's Wednesday. It's hump day, and I'm ready for 2 days off. Tonight, when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe till we go live again. We'll be live tomorrow morning, 8:30 to 9 o'clock, somewhere in that range. First person here, as always, is going to...
When we started 110 years ago.
Thank you, Laura. As always, first person in chat gets to win the internet. That could be you. All you need to do is be the very first person who makes a comment in the chat, and I need to see it. Then you'll win. So,
you are banished from the state of Georgia.
I'm banished from Georgia. Y'all are amazing. I love that I get to do this. Thank you for making this the best place to watch YouTube. Thanks for making this the best place to watch court on YouTube. You guys are amazing. I'm seriously, I'm losing it. I need to go before all this gets clipped and lives forever in infamy. You guys have a good night. Bye-bye.